Hello, everybody, and welcome to Edging on Dunstan, a podcast where three certified Dunstan dunces analyze a cinematic masterpiece by 10-minute increments. Today, we're discussing minutes 60 to 70. I'm Drew.
I'm Sam.
I'm Adam.
Oh, and we're careening fast towards a conclusion that the film does not seem ready for.
Right.
And hell, which we do not seem ready for.
Oh boy.
We are just stepping into Act 3.
And what a razor past this 10-minute chunk.
The pace has picked up. Everything happened. Whereas last time, nothing happened.
And the time before that, nothing happened. And the time before that, nothing happened.
Yeah,
Suffice to say, nothing has happened until this point.
It's like this movie is an hour of exposition for a conclusion that I can't... not to spoil the end of the episode or anything, but I still can't really wrap my head around. Boy, we start off strong with the brow demanding that the children be locked up, as all good children should be, so they can't disturb the ball.
Well, they were showing symptoms of the coronavirus.
She said they needed to be quarantined.
Yes, oh boy.
She said, your boys are going to have to wear masks, which is an infringement of their constitutional rights, of course.
And Jason Alexander said, I ain't wearing no mask. I ain't listening to big government. Big pharma can suck my fucking cock.
You think I'm going to take that vaccine, Obama? You see, we're out of the 9/11 arc, and now we're into the coronavirus arc.
Oh no, this is the one I was least ready for.
Yeah.
We really begin with Lord Rutledge making a sequel comment to his champagne that he could have comfortably bathed in. This time telling Robert Grant that his soup had a lot of hair in it, and then Robert lying to his boss,
he said the soup was delightful, but he might want to inquire which cook is having some substantial hair loss problems.
Oh, that's Thomas. He's going through radiation and chemo. Be a little more sensitive, Lord Rutledge.
I don't care. I snuck a orangutan into your hotel.
I remember when I was little and he said that, I thought he was implying that he knew about the monkey. I thought he was implying the monkey's hair was in the soup.
There's a lot of coarse monkey. I wouldn't know, of course.
What even is a monkey?
What's a merkin? I'm a monkey. So we go to the Egyptian suite for every kid in a hotel room with their parents' credit card scene ever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump on the bed. This is such a low energy destruction scene too. It's like we're gonna jump on the bed and then...
Yeah, they jump in the bed, they order banana splits. They do knock over a bunch of champagne bottles, but it's really half-assed because Dunstan rolls into them like a bowling ball.
Yeah, it's just a very basic room destruction scene. Until Kyle gets naked and bathes with Dunstan.
Yeah, that's pretty epic. And while his brother watches.
Yeah.
I do want to point out, too,
stroking the phone line.
I really hate the sound. Like, one of my least favorite sounds in the world is full glass bottles hitting each other. It's just, I think, the anxiety that comes with that of, like, are they going to break? So that scene of Dunstan rolling into the champagne was the worst for me. I really hated that, because the sound of it is just the sound of a bunch of bottles being thrown at each other.
Some good Foley right there.
Terrible. It sounds like... I don't even think it was Foley necessarily, because like, when I'm watching it really seems like that might have been...
sound.
That's the room sound.
Yeah.
That's just the sound of the glass, like, loudly clinking into each other.
But it's also good to incorporate Foley into every discussion about audio, because those people are in a thankless job. So we thank you.
Go, Mick Foley.
Thank you, Foley artists.
Go, Foley artists who went for Dunstan. But
rest in peace, Chris Foley.
In Arm of Angel, but Dunstan, we really got to give it up for Sammy the Orangutan again for... Really, they taught an orangutan to, like, turn into a bowling ball and just charge down bottles of champagne.
Yeah.
How did they explain that concept to the orangutan? Yeah, they got Buck Lafarge to talk to him. It's like how they made Elvish and Lord of the Rings a real language. They did the same for Dunstan Jackson.
It's very specific inflections of fart sound you gotta get.
Do monkeys eat things besides bananas? Because I feel like that's a real big stereotype.
Well, they drink champagne.
They drink champagne. This one drinks champagne and all he eats is bananas. And I think that's just really lazy writing.
Yeah, get fucked, Ken Klopis.
Did he write it? No, John
he's the
Hopkins
director.
wrote it.
Yeah, John Hopkins did. Good job, John Hopkins.
Yeah, John Hopkins. Eat shit.
You gotta give him credit for that frisbee shot, though. Genuinely, that shot of the frisbee flying out the window was really nice.
Yeah, it was
really
a
like
great
that.
shot until it came back like a fucking boomerang.
It's such a weird shot in this movie too, where we like cut away from like a stereotypical hotel kids in a hotel room party scene to just the outside of the building with like very little sound.
Very peaceful night.
Yeah, like this. We just like get a bit of the neon sign at the top of the building as this frisbee flies out the window, then comes around and flies back in.
They forgot it's not a boomerang.
Yeah.
But it comes back for a valiant purpose, though.
Yes, because there's one character who doesn't have it bad enough in life.
Lionel Spaulding.
Sans Neil.
Sans Neil. He's mourning the death of his precious Poochie.
That's what was on the table. It was a jar of his dog's ashes.
Sans his wife. Sans his will to carry on.
Oh man. If there's one character in this entire movie that needs more backstory, it's definitely Lionel Spaulding, because I feel like that would just make his character more sympathetic and compelling if he was like, he was in New York to like spread his wife's ashes on Liberty Island or something like that, and then all this horrible shit happens to him.
I might have already said this if we've been doing this for a few weeks now, but who is the guy in Malcolm in the Middle that works at the manager?
Wayne?
Craig, yes. He's Craig, except they don't give him any like bad qualities, so you just feel terrible for him.
Yep.
He's exactly Craig from Malcolm in the Middle. It's very hard to watch.
It's so...
As he juggles his nice dishes for like 5 minutes, getting every last drop of scalding hot tea all over him.
He's just enjoying tea with an open window when this boomerang frisbee attacks him, and he's covered with this scalding liquid, and all the boys look out the window as if they would have been able to see that, and they're like,
Like, you know, he walked out of that hotel like after his stay was finished and was immediately struck by lightning 3 times.
and then killed himself.
But no, he tried to kill himself, but the gun jammed, then he was hit by a truck.
Which he lived through. Oh, poor Lionel Spaulding, bless you.
My headcanon for him is just so sad. Oh, man. And then we get just the greatest line from Kyle. If Dad ever finds out that we checked Dunstan in the hotel, we'd be in big trouble.
They're already double grounded. How
Yeah.
much more trouble could they possibly be in? Brian can't use the security cameras to look at babes anymore,
And Kyle can't
do
something he had to
that.
think of.
Yeah, we're clueless as to what Kyle was grounded from.
Yeah, all we see him doing is peeing and playing with his
Yeah. Speaking of which,
Spider-Man returns.
yeah, Peace Spider-Man returns.
There's still been no scene where he sanitizes that fucking plush Spider-Man, and he just gives it to Dunstan, who nuzzles it up against his face. So Dunstan now has COVID.
You say that like it's a foregone conclusion, and I appreciate that.
Okay, hey,
You heard me. More
Right.
bananas. While they're ordering room service, they're ordering like banana splits with extra bananas and like banana cream pie with extra bananas because they're kids, so they think monkey eat banana and that's it. But while Brian is ordering the room service, he says, "You heard me, more bananas," as if the room service person is fighting him on this.
yeah, the room service person's like, "Hey, come on, you already got so many
You heard me,
bananas."
more bananas.
That genuinely scared me. I've never seen you in this light before.
It's kind of sexy, right?
No.
Oh, Dunstan's just getting me a little horny, my bad. We've gone 2 whole scenes without sexual content in Dunstan.
But you know
No,
what
no.
we've been missing? You know what we've been missing for a
It's
while?
been heavily implied.
What has?
I'm sorry that you've missed the subtext of all. It's just the energy that runs through the entire.
Oh
film.
yeah, Lord Rutledge did tie up a little boy in this scene, but we're getting ahead of ourselves.
With practiced hand. This was not his first time. Not his first rodeo.
Mm-mm.
I really enjoy the scene as they're preparing for the ball.
Yeah.
Because there's a really nice callback as they polish the forks.
Yeah, that's one thing we haven't seen for a while.
We haven't seen a
need
good polishing shot.
Yeah. Can we get a nice close up of Jason Alexander just twiddling his fingers as someone lowers down a, what the hell are those called?
Napkins.
No, whatever. That works.
Can we get a nice close-up of Jason Alexander just ruining the icing on this cake?
Uh-huh.
He just ruined that icing, you guys.
But-
I don't know what he thought he was doing, but he just smudged it down. Like I wanted to pull him out of the screen and slap him and be like, "You're not the cook. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. Why are you ruining this beautiful cake?"
To top it off, after this guy makes this masterpiece of a cake that is way too big for 100 people that are in attendance at this party, Jason Alexander sticks a little corsage flour in it. Obviously not edible. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why.
Well, you see, fondant technology wasn't as advanced in 1996 as it is today. Today, anything could be cake. But back then, if you wanted to have realistic flowers, you had to get real flowers.
I actually have a prosthetic foot made out of cake. That's just technology, baby.
We tried to put the movie in the PlayStation to watch today, but we picked it up and it was just cake. The best part about this joke is that no matter when we would have done that joke, it would have been dated. But the fact that we've done this joke like 4 months after the Everything Is Cake meme is dead, and are going to be releasing this podcast like an additional 3 months after that.
But I'm also
fun.
fun.
Being recorded, just for like full clarity, we're recording this on December 5th, 1987.
So we predicted the meme, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
and 9/11.
The towers are strong.
The economy is strong. Reagan's still in the White House. And will be for another 4 terms.
He's never going to hell.
I'm also fond of prep for the crystal ball scene, because there's a scene where Robert's like analyzing the seating and the dining arrangements. So he takes out this tiny ruler and he's like doing circumference of a plate. And then when he realizes something's off, he sighs as if the last shred of his hope has just been destroyed. He goes,
Everyone looks dejected.
Like there's no fixing this. He can't just move like the saucer a bit to the left. This is the end of the world.
Mr. Principal, he shouldn't have to check up. Well, I mean, I think we go from that directly to a different movie. Where it just does a hard cut. The music stops.
Yes, it does.
We're suddenly in a dramatic scene of like of just Lord Rutledge just chain smoking and hacking.
He outfoxes those 2 children and a monkey.
He hacks into the computer system and finds out which room ordered the most bananas.
He searches. He
didn't hack.
But he just goes onto the hotel.
He goes to the homepage.
Room service website and types in the word banana.
And then he's like, well, this room ordered banana.
He's like, monkeys only eat bananas.
Yeah.
So he's just slightly smarter than the 2 children and a monkey.
And I can appreciate that.
That's nice to see.
Mm-hmm. He literally goes onto the hotel webpage, and for some reason from the webpage, you can look up everybody's room service orders, and he just decides banana will be good enough. Because, first of all, how asinine is it for him to suspect that Dunstan is disguised as one of the hotel guests?
Hey, was he wrong?
He was so right.
Screw you, Sam.
I'd like to now bring up something that I see a lot in movies that really drives me crazy.
Orangutans?
No, like it's something the screenwriters
Jason
do.
Alexander?
No, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to have a... It's something that really drives me crazy that screenwriters do. When the best laid plans of mice and men often go awry. So when you get a character that says out loud the next step, like when Kyle says, "We're going to take you to his..." Shut up, Drew. Wait, no, it was Kyle.
No, I'm saying I know what you're talking about. He's like, we're going to take you to the zoo, and there's a knock at the door. He's like, that is Brian.
I thought
and then he goes to the door. He's like, oh, that was not Brian.
I was still going with that. There was more to this. Just the fact that now you made me lose my train of thought. The fact that every time in a movie when you hear a character say out what they're going to do next, you just know that's a cue for something to go and change the plot. When they say out loud, it just bothers me so much. It's so lazy. We don't need to know that. Actually, it's the opposite of lazy. It's too much. We could have been just fine if he didn't tell us what they were going to do with the monkey. It wouldn't have affected the plot. We would have been okay.
If they would have had a scene when Lauren Rutledge was there, I wouldn't have known to be worried. I'd be like, oh, it's our good friend Lauren Rutledge who's been trying to catch them the entire movie.
They're still on good terms with that guy.
I know, like, we stopped making the child predator jokes at one point because it got too easy, but the deft skill with which he ties up Kyle and tapes over his mouth and throws him in the bathroom, I know I already said, but that is not his first rodeo.
I can make nosy little boys disappear.
It's such a disturbing subtext to the point where I genuinely don't think it's subtext anymore. It has to be intentional.
They
right?
just gave up. Like, this is the third act. Balls to the wall. They have so many potential plot lines to close off in the, 20 minutes that are left in the movie? If that.
The first half of this movie was just an open tap of the plot lines. The end of this movie is going to be like the director coming through with an already wet mop, just spreading the water around the floor. Like, oh, we're going to get it! I'll get it!
It's like, here, right now, everyone listening to this, grab your mom's phone, open it up, double tap the home button, and see all of the tabs that she left open. There's going to be 28 tabs. That's what this is. Every little tab you've got to close is a plot.
Then I need you to go to Fortnite.com and buy 2,500 V-Bucks and send them to P.O. Box 517.
But before that, I have a little note, and that's I'm a little bit upset by how inconsistent the size of the Majestic Hotel is. Because whenever we get establishing shots of it, it looks like it has maybe 10 floors. But then when we're inside, you see the elevators have like 30 buttons, and when Brian gets sent down the elevator shaft, he's falling for like a good 30 seconds to hell.
It's like Evangelion, actually. This movie inspired Evangelion, where the hotel's mostly underground.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember Anno said in an interview that he was really inspired by Dunstan Checks In.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite movie. That's actually what inspired the character of Asuka.
Actually, what he said was...
Because he's a true fan.
Quick, which character from the Ungenesis Evangelion is most inspired by Dunstan Checks In?
Oh, that's a good one.
I feel like... I can't think of the name now. It's very unfortunate.
I think Shinji, because of all the psychosexual implications.
That's a good point, yeah.
When they get down...
Shinji's got very big, like, adult Kyle energy. Or, like, teenage Kyle energy. Kyle grew up to become Shinji Ikari.
Now let's stop alienating Adam.
And the rest of the audience.
So when they get down to the party, did anyone... When you see Buck Lafarge's purple suit,
Yeah.
I got some big Wiggle vibes.
I love that
I got
suit.
some fruit salad, yummy.
Hey, if you turn the saturation up on that suit a little bit, I'd wear it.
I love that suit. I think that everybody in these like black and gray dresses, I think they're happy to see that one splash of color.
It looks like Lord Rutledge isn't the only one with a coat that's rather loud.
Oh, give me a high five for that one. That's a good callback.
Let's get some nice high five ASMR.
That's a good ass callback right
Good. That's gonna clip so hard.
Hey, we just skipped right over when Buck Lafarge's dog just straight up huffs his nuts.
Oh, he goes
I'm
to
gonna huff
town
those
on
nuts.
those balls. Like, he gobbles them, swallows them. Oh,
He is in there. He is deep in those balls.
I've seen dogs, like, sniff balls. I've never seen them, like, lick and growl and drool all over his balls before.
It is like it's like they just took a bunch of bacon strips and stapled them to Jason Alexander's scrotum to get that scene.
I think it's poetic justice that the dog is like face deep in Jason Alexander's crotch, considering that's what Jason Alexander was doing for years on Seinfeld. But there's something that I caught that I think is important, and that is right after Lord Rutledge ties up Kyle, he says to Dunstan, "It's time to check out." And then that's when Dunstan launches his rebellion against Rutledge again, because he refuses to check out.
Dunstan is checked in, damn it, and he will not be checking out.
He's checked in for life. Okay. Then Rutledge says, "Give Daddy a big hug."
And then he says, "I'm going to fucking kill you."
And Dunstan just Mike Tyson's him.
Yeah.
Just bites his ear clean off.
Oh, it's especially funny because you can tell all the monkey's doing is just opening his mouth, and they added a crunching sound effect and post.
Like the Apple crunchy cartoon sound
yeah,
effect.
like something you'd hear like from someone eating like a
Eating a banana raw.
like yeah.
What?
What?
You never seen the video of Griffin McElroy eating a banana with the peel on?
Shut up, Sam.
It makes such a good crunchy.
I love how we both went along with it too. Yeah,
No,
just
I did not go along with it at all.
You said yeah. And
No,
then you're
you
like,
said
no.
yeah.
Did I really?
Yeah, you said yeah.
Well,
Studio
jeez,
audience,
me
next
then.
time you go, you're not a studio audience, you're just our audience, we love you. But next time you come across a banana in the wild, try eating it with the shell on. Yeah,
How about that Lionel Spaulding?
but I just want to point out the fact that Dunstan should have bit his ear off. I'm really upset that the ear wasn't bitten off. 'Cause I understand we got to keep Dunstan a bit more like on the up and up so that the audience like still likes him. But I really would have liked to have seen Rutledge get his ear fully bitten off, because if we're going to be more realistic, there is no way Dunstan would not have torn that man's ears straight off his head. He killed his brother and turned him into a merkin. We know exactly how Dunstan feels.
As much as I love your hee-hee chuckle jokes, let's be serious for a second, Sam. The rest of the plot takes place with Lord Rutledge in the crystal ball. Don't you think that would have been a little bit suspicious if he had a hole where his ear was?
It would have been funny.
And that's why you'll never be a good director.
Sam, did you notice that Mrs. Della Croce was with the masseuse that she sexually assaulted?
No.
Yeah, she came down to the party with him.
Good. I'm glad it worked
She's
out.
gonna go up from the party with
Oh,
him.
yeah. Oh, she's a thirsty broad.
Oh, my.
Lionel Spaulding comes back for another dose of pain.
Yes.
He approaches Mrs. Dubrow, who, Mrs. Dubrow, just a refresher, thinks that Lord Rutledge is a spy from the Le Monde Association who's going to approve the 6th star that she wants. Because right now it's a 5-star hotel. But as she's, like, showing Lord Rutledge around, meanwhile Lord Rutledge just wants to find Monkey, who escaped and is now, presumably at the Crystal Ball, which, by the way, he is.
He's under the German lady's dress.
He's under the German lady's dress.
Oh.
But
Another character that comes back, Fat Opera
yeah,
Lady.
Fat
We
Opera
see her
Lady
once
is
more.
back. But Lionel Spaulding approaches Mrs. Dubrow and says, "I'm Lionel Spaulding." And then Mrs. Dubrow says, "Oh, of course you are," and then walks away.
This one hurt the worst for me.
He looks so dejected.
Oh, that one.
Like, you can just tell it took him so much, like, courage and confidence to just reach out and try and make a friend.
Yeah.
Finally getting himself back out.
He's
there over the
ready
death
to
of his
start
wife
seeing
and his
people.
dog.
Yeah.
Of course you are. Oh my gosh, poor Lionel Spaulding,
Speaking
man.
of poor people,
This movie's gonna end with him just going, well, I guess I'll go back to my cupcake business. Oh, there's a hurricane, it's gone.
all right, Drew. Speaking of poor people,
Yes, brother.
we get another appearance by the titular Poor Artie,
Oh, poor Artie.
who was so important to the
Well,
first
then you'll miss
45 seconds. Yeah.
You'll remember in the first, 10 minutes of the movie how the boys gallantly go to the rescue of poor Artie, who's being picked on by the mean old manager. And so the movie, would set us up to sympathize with poor Artie. But what happens to poor Artie, Samuel?
He gets dragged along by the dog.
Like when in the olden days they used to tie people to the end of carriages and just drag them along.
Mm-hmm.
That happens to poor Artie, who we're supposed to sympathize with.
Yeah, and what was it? What was his sin? That with comedy, with slapstick comedy, a character has to have sins for it to be funny. What was his sin?
Pie in the face of the rich man.
Yes.
I feel like I guess we keep saying that like a lot of the characters, bad things happen to them, even though we don't see them doing bad things or anything that would make them deserve it.
Are you
But I really
suggesting?
I think at this point in the film, we're just supposed to accept the fact that this hotel is hell. I know we've already said this before, but I think at this point they assume that we've already figured that bit out, and they've just trusted that the audience knows everybody here is in hell. Like this, they have done terrible things.
What about Dunstan?
They have jaywalked. They have had sex before marriage.
They committed tax evasion.
That was Dunstan's sin.
No, that one's okay.
Oh yeah, 80s.
Yeah, that's okay.
90s. We're in the 90s.
Damn it, Adam, you're making me look bad.
We're bad.
Hey, tax evasion never goes out of style.
Nobody sees Dunstan, who is walking around the crystal ball at this point.
Well, they're rich snobs. They never look down.
Yeah, they've got their noses turned up so they can't see this peasant
They got
orangutan.
their parasols and their walking sticks and their
Their
top
crumples.
hats.
Is that why in nice hotels the ceilings are always so fancy?
Yes.
Because they always got their heads turned up. That's why the Sistine Chapel was made. Everyone kept walking in the building, but the ceiling is so bland. I'd look at the ornate walls and floor, but I don't want to look down on anyone.
Dunstan, he walking around. He getting some pate. He's enjoying the nightlife.
Yes.
Okay, something else that
Well,
I'm just now...
simultaneously, Buck Lafarge is walking around double fisting champagne.
Yep. And harassing Lionel Spaulding again, but that's more of a minor offense.
Something I'm thinking about now that really sets the third act into motion.
He is.
Yeah, Kyle comes down, the younger brother, comes down with the picture of Rutledge and the two monkeys and hands it to Brian, who's trying to get some action.
Yeah.
He hands it to Brian, and Brian sees Lord Rutledge and two monkeys, and his thought is, oh, Rutledge killed the other monkey, not, oh, there's another monkey loose in the hotel.
Oh, yeah.
Without any subtext. And then takes it to the father, and the father has the exact same reaction. Oh, Rutledge and two monkeys. Oh, Rutledge killed one, not, oh, maybe there's two monkeys here.
No. Rutledge's No. Dad's reaction is, yeah, it's just the Lord Rutledge and two monkeys. What
Yeah,
else?
I know,
Dude,
but like...
the crazy part is, though,
What?
this movie, I've become so numb to its insanity that I didn't even understand the significance of them finding the photo. For a while, it didn't hit me until we stopped watching. I'm like, oh, it proves that he has the monkeys.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even-
I was just like, oh, it's just a picture of him and the monkeys. Yeah,
I didn't even-
whatever.
No, it's evidence.
I did not even realize that was the significance.
Right, we've
I
been
thought they
watching
were
this
just...
movie too much. Something about this movie is ruining our brains.
That's another good question. Lord Rutledge kidnapped the boy and the monkey in, like, the Imperial Suite, and then he snuck them down to his own personal room. Did he just, like, grab onto their ears and then escort them through the hotel to his own room?
Like in an old Bugs Bunny cartoon, he just pulled the corner of the frame out and they just, like, jumped into his room.
That reminds me of the thing I was at a loss for words at in the last episode. I can't wait till the end when Buck LaFarge has got his sights set on Dunstan, and then Dunstan bends the barrel of the gun back and Buck LaFarge shoots himself.
Well, now they know how the movie ends, so they're not going to stick through the next couple
That's all,
episodes.
folks.
This bit with the photo also really made something else come to mind. I suddenly had a realization. What do the kids think that that Rutledge has done wrong? Aside from knowing that he's been mean to Dunstan, they don't know about the money, do they?
He knows that he snuck a monkey into a hotel.
Okay, so yeah, no one even knows about as far as we are concerned, Rutledge already got away with the theft. Like,
Oh, yeah, for
he
sure.
could just fucking leave. He did it. Why is he still there?
I assume because there's evidence?
What?
Yeah, the
What
monkey's
evidence?
gonna squeal, bro.
What evidence? He's just gotta leave.
The monkey's gonna squeal, bro.
It's not like they're going to be able to identify his particular monkey. I mean, not...
It's-
Where's he
monkeys
go-
all
where's
look
he
the
gonna get
same.
another
It's already been
orangutan?
proven that the only one who can communicate effectively with the monkey is LaBarge. And we know that this man is so focused on his goal of arresting monkeys that he's not gonna... Once he's got Dunstan in his grasp, he doesn't care what else happens. He doesn't care if Dunstan's gonna try to squeal, as long as he's not squealing on another monkey. Buck LaFarge he's gonna lock him in his monkey cage and leave him there to rot.
Lord Rutledge is staying there because Dunstan still had a fanny pack full of diamonds. He didn't give the payout to Lord Rutledge, and because Lord Rutledge has a trained monkey that can rob people, and he doesn't want to leave until he gets the monkey. And so now that he has the diamonds from Dunstan, he was going to vamoose.
He still had Dunstan left his fanny pack when he
No,
ran away.
he carried it. He was still wearing it.
He definitely left it. Wait, no, you're right. He did leave with it.
Yeah, he had the
You're
diamonds.
right.
Do you think that the state subsidizes LaFarge's monkey jail?
I think the way he files his taxes, they do.
At least until his tell-all autobiography comes out.
LaBarge, tell all.
I'm gonna have so many censor bars to make in this one.
Bro, just this movie, we argued for like 2 minutes about what has and has not objectively happened in it, even though the two of us have seen it like 30 times.
Yeah, it's just seeing it like under this fine-toothed comb. Wait, that didn't make sense. Anyway,
Like at first, I felt like I was crazy in the first few episodes because I had so little of a grasp as to what was happening in this movie. But even like once we sit down and talk about it for 40 minutes, I come back and find I still don't know what's happening in this movie because it just kind of like meanders. It has it's like how does stoner comedies that have meandering plots like Big Lebowski make more sense than this movie? That entire movie is just meandering plot lines, but that still wraps up better than this movie, which is just going nowhere.
Speaking of which, Sam, how is Dunstan going to end now that we're in the final act?
Well, as we were talking about how this it feels like the first act starting 50 minutes in the movie, it hit me. I think I figured out what happened with this movie. This is actually the confusing plot is actually symptomatic of a very troubled production history, in which did you know Dunstan Checks In was originally planned to be a trilogy, what happened was they had planned out the trilogy and they couldn't get it funded, so they started production, rewrote it into be one movie, which is why the plot kind of like goes back and forth how it does, which is why you could kind of stop the movie at any point and have it and just say it's done. This is it. But what happened was you'll also notice you might poke holes in my theory and say at this point things are getting kind of off the rails again. It doesn't seem like it's a very sensible trilogy. Well, that's because halfway through filming this one movie, which was a trilogy condensed down to one movie, they got it reapproved to make a trilogy. So they started backing it up a little bit. So what they could do is they could have the original was going to be the trilogy condensed into one movie, which is going to leave a cliffhanger. So the first movie, so Dunstan Checks In kind of comprises like the first 2.5 movies in the original trilogy.
So for everyone who's checking back in, Sam said some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Sam suggested that Dunstan Checks In is similar to Gundam F91, but we'll move on from that.
No, I'm suggesting more like it's similar to the Fifth Wave, where they were going to make a trilogy, but then it was so bad that they never got to make the trilogy.
Or the Lemony Snicket series of unfortunate events movie.
Yes, that's another one. These are good examples, guys.
By the way, if you guys ever want to do like another one-off podcast where it's just me getting very angry, we can do a Fifth Wave episode, because that's my least favorite movie of all time. I could spend 2 hours talking about how much I hate that movie.
Oh, is it that bad?
Watch it.
I wouldn't mind watching it if we just do like a 45-minute long rant on that. Never seen it, know nothing about it, but I'm always down to watch a horrible movie.
I'll have to cut this. I'll have to tell you guys about this movie a bit after we finish, because Lord.
All right. Until then, thank you very much for joining us, everybody. Be sure to listen to next week's episode where we handle minutes 70 to 80. Until then, I have been Drew.
I've been Sam.
I've been Adam.
Thank you, everybody.
Have a nice week.
Have fun living in the city.
That was Edging on Dunstan, the podcast where 3 reviews analyze Dunstan Checks In 10 minutes at a time. You can email us at edgingpodcast@gmail.com. If you want your email featured on the show, make sure to let us know if we can use your name. Edging on Dunstan is a podcast by Sam, featuring Adam and Drew. Editing is by Adam. The intro is Right to Ascension, written by Sam and remixed by Adam.